Followers really don't matter if you're in social media to make money. Six figures isn't going to happen overnight. A lot of the money doesn't really lie in monetization. Most people don't fail because they're bad at creating. They fail because they stop creating. And I am guilty of this too.
The next station is Tara Chandra. Stay on board to enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, I'm Tara. I'm a fashion content creator, and today I wanted to come here and talk about social media and how your fear of looking stupid is holding you back from making 6+ figures. And I'm gonna obviously elaborate on this as we get through the video, but I wanted to start out by doing like a little backstory. I have 4 different parts, and if I'm looking down, it's because I have my notes in here. As a bit of a backstory, I started posting on social media 12.5 years ago, and my first proper social media channel besides Tumblr was YouTube. And social media for me was like an escape from school. When I say escape, I mean it more in the sense of it was like a creative outlet for me. It was a place where I could dream about doing more than I was actually doing in my actual life. And it helped me create my own little bubble in the online world where I actually felt like I truly belonged. In saying all of this, I wouldn't say that I had it hard at school, because I really didn't. I had like the most amazing friend group, and despite being like the unstoppable, very obsessed directioner growing up, they like never judged me for that. And honestly, I owe my friends and my family like so much for literally just letting me be me. I really owe it to them for like not judging me and letting me post on YouTube in a space where only like big YouTubers existed at that time. But what I did find hard, maybe you relate to this now, but it was feeling stagnant, not having the ability to do what I wanted to do, and having dreams bigger than the path that I was currently walking along. In 2013, stranger danger was like a big thing. I never dreamed of sharing my like last name, my surname online. Here I am with my full name on the internet. But it was just a completely different space in the online world. And honestly, the only way that I could get my parents' approval to post on YouTube, because keep in mind I was like 15 at the time, was to tell them that I could make money off YouTube. I remember asking my dad, because he's definitely like more business minded, and I was like, hey, there is a YouTube monetization program. If I start a YouTube channel, I can sign up for this, because back then anyone could sign up for it. I'll make money off YouTube videos that I make through ads. And he was like, I think that's a great idea. My parents have been so supportive about social media. Like, it's actually crazy for like Asian parents, I think, to just be wholeheartedly supportive of my creative journey. Nowadays, as some of you may know, getting into the YouTube monetization program is a bit more difficult. So I was part of it, and then I randomly got kicked out of it. So I'm in the process of getting back into it. But with social media and all of its platforms, monetization is not the only way that you can make money online now. There are so many ways, and I have been able to make a really solid 6-figure income and job out of social media not being monetized. If you get into this field, you'll see that a lot of the money doesn't really lie in monetization. It lies in other factors of social media, which I'll talk about later in this video. If you're stuck in the 200 views club, which honestly, that's where my videos are mostly sitting at now, because I just stopped posting on YouTube for years. We're all going through it. Maybe it feels embarrassing, maybe it feels pointless, maybe it feels stupid, but I will say, your fear of looking stupid is holding you back from making 6+ figures, and this is why and how. Part 1, looking stupid and seeing your potential. Firstly, let's forget about all the numbers, the money, the followers, all of it, and really step back, because we need to get rid of the idea that posting about yourself online makes you feel stupid. And I'm using the word stupid loosely and broadly, because it can really be whatever word you want it to be. It could be your fear of feeling anxious, or your fear of being embarrassing, silly, awkward, weird, whatever word it is. It actually doesn't really matter. If you are coming online and you are posting authentically about yourself and of yourself and out of passion, you have nothing to be afraid of, because it is you that you're posting about. So at the end of the day, like, all of this stems from your like self-confidence, your self-love, and to simply just not give a fuck. And I know this is easier said than done, because everyone's situation is different, but as someone that has been posting online for like over a decade, I have seen all the hate comments come my way. And I do want to disclaim that I have like the most amazing community online. Like any viral video, there will be haters, and that is something that you have to prepare yourself for if you want to get into the social media space. But I will say that I like did not get any hate for the first few years that I was online. But I think as the algorithm changes and our videos get pushed out into a wider audience that we don't necessarily intend for it to be pushed out to, it's easier for it to land in the wrong hands. The haters will see it, the trolls will see it, but you gotta get past that. While all the haters are hiding behind the screens and leaving mean comments on my post, they're actually boosting my engagement. So thank you to the haters, and that's the mindset that we all need to have. But if you do have fears about starting on social media, I'm not trying to dismiss those feelings because they are very real, but you do have to see your potential in this industry. Holding your head high and maintaining a strong sense of self is so important, otherwise it's going to be really difficult to succeed. And I always say this, the people that get you will get you, and the people that don't won't and probably never will, and that is okay. So part 2, community and growth. The journey to almost anything, unless you have your foot already in the door, starts from nothing. And I really believe that this nothingness is part of the experience in understanding and valuing your growth over time. I've said this for years and years, but I genuinely believe that gradual growth is better than overnight growth. And to expand on this, if you're blowing up immediately, you lose that sense of time in fostering a community. People only really know you from that one piece of content that went viral. And it's so easy for that one moment to kind of define your identity online. And you also miss the ability to grow your platform from scratch, and therefore miss out on the feeling of what it's like to not get numbers straight away. And overall, just the ability to fully appreciate it all. In saying all this, it is actually so difficult to blow up overnight. And I think we see so many people going viral overnight. But in reality, it's actually only a handful of people that are blowing up out of like the thousands of people that are trying. So if you are trying to grow your community, I do have a few tips that have actually helped me over time, and I still use these today. My first tip is to really work with the community that you already have. So I think for a lot of people, this would be friends and family. And I know that it can be really scary to tell your friends and family that you are starting a social media journey, but if they're real ones, they're gonna want to support you. My friends were my first followers, and they were in my content from day one. They were helping me shoot when I needed help shooting. They were in like so many of my videos. And I think my experience on social media would have been so different if my friends weren't there along for the ride. And I really hope that you have a good friend and family network that you can harness. And if not, that is okay, because you can build a community in other ways. A great tip I have is to find other creators in your niche that have a similar follow account to you and try to become friends with them if you think you'll vibe. Interact on each other's posts by commenting whenever they post, and eventually it'll become like this mutual unspoken thing where you just support each other, because I do that all the time now with my friends, and it's like an unspoken thing we do. You can always rely on them to be in your comments. Some of my best friends in the whole world I met through Instagram, and I wouldn't have it any other way, because you really get to meet like-minded people that just get your vision and get you. If you are posting on multiple different social media channels, cross-promote yourself, because it is so rare to have the same followers on both channels. For example, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You're not going to have the same people following you across all of them. There will be crossovers for sure, but the reality is it's so difficult to grow equally. Make the most of it that way. Part 3, consistency. And I honestly think this is one of the most important parts of this video. Most people don't fail because they're bad at creating. They fail because they stop creating. And I am guilty of this too, because I've done this countless times. We'll post like a few times, or we'll just like be creating something and we share it, and it doesn't get like the response or traction that we expect it would. From that, we kind of convince ourselves maybe this isn't for us. Consistency makes failure impossible. And really think about that. If you are consistently posting, it may take time, but it's gonna happen eventually. I feel like I'm a good testament to eventually getting there, because as I said, I've been posting online for 12.5 years now. I didn't get my first sponsorship till 4 years into posting. I was consistently posting 1 to 2 YouTube videos every single week when I first started on YouTube for the first few years. I would spend every single minute of my free time shooting, editing, planning YouTube videos. But also keep in mind that I did start social media in a space where it wasn't really like a job. Only big bloggers and like YouTubers had opportunities. Like micro creators and stuff like that didn't exist. So if anything, now is the best time to start, because it's so easy to get jobs. I'll talk about that a bit later as well. My point for that was I really was creating out of passion, and I think passion is really important if you want to succeed in this industry. I think you can succeed if you have the goal of making money off social media, but I think you have better chances to not burn out in the process if you're doing it out of passion and genuine love for creating. And I really think that's the reason why I've been able to post consistently for so long, because I started out of passion. It wasn't even like a job possibility in my mind when I first started posting. Like I never knew that I could make money off social media besides monetization, which really just made me a few dollars here and there. If you do look at my YouTube channel, you can see that I eventually stopped posting after a few years, which I really regret doing, but maybe I wouldn't have done as well on like Instagram. But at the end of the day, that's the decision that I made, and it's fine, and I'm here and it's all good, and I'm posting again now. I calculated this like crazy stat, but on Instagram, I've posted at least once every single week for the past 623 weeks. Is that not insane? And I just hit 190k followers and I make a solid 6-figure income. And that leads me to part 4, making 6 figures on social media. And I don't want you to forget everything that we've talked about, because I think the main emphasis of my other parts were to tell you that it takes time. Overnight success is very, very difficult. 6 figures isn't going to happen overnight. I've been doing this for 12.5 years. I think I only hit that range maybe 3-4 years ago. I'm just going to be honest and transparent and say that there isn't one way to make 6 figures on social media. But I want to be clear from the beginning of this that you don't need 6-figure followers to make 6-figure income. And followers really don't need to mean as much as people put emphasis on it meaning. If you do have that many followers, like amazing, and you can definitely use that to your advantage, but it's not necessary. I know micro creators that are earning close to or in the 6-figure range. And I also know people with like 1 million followers that aren't. Followers really don't matter if you're in social media to make money. But in saying all that, I do think a lot of factors come into play with this. For example, pay discrepancies between BIPOC and white people, where you live. Honestly, this is like a whole conversation for another time, but I did want to like address that because I don't think that this industry has enough regulations, and I wouldn't say it's necessarily fair. So the intention of this video was to actually motivate you to start your social media journey, because by starting now, you're setting yourself up for success if you are consistent. But I also did want to give you a little breakdown and ideas on how you can make money on social media, whether that's through followers or not. My first one is, I think, the most obvious, and that's brand sponsorship. So this is personally my biggest income stream and where I find the biggest checks for the amount of work that I am doing. And I think this is where a lot of creators do make their money from. Brand sponsorships are basically where a brand pays you to create content for them for a specific campaign or product, or maybe just general brand awareness. There is usually a middleman in this whole process between you and the brand, and that's typically a marketing or PR agency, and that agency's client is the brand, and they kind of manage all the work that comes to you, all the contracts, payments, things like that. It's not always the case. Like, I have worked with brands directly, so it really just depends on the brand. I will say, living in Sydney, Australia, we are probably like the biggest hub for PR marketing agencies. So finding the PR marketing hub in your country would actually be really beneficial, because I find that I get a lot of opportunities that are Sydney based, especially in like the field of fashion and lifestyle content that I do. Nowadays, pretty much wherever you live in the world, it's possible to get brand sponsorships. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I do find that like once you are in like the agency network and you work with one brand, slowly get on the radar of all of them. And honestly, I could make a whole video about brand sponsorships and getting paid through sponsorships for social media. If you guys want to see that, let me know. But I just wanted to quickly touch on that. My next point is UGC, or user generated content, which you may have heard before. This is like a whole another section of like content creation. If you don't know what UGC is, it basically brand sponsorship, except you are being paid to create the content for the brand, but you're not posting it on your channels, or you don't have to. This usually includes usage for the brand to use that content as ads or just organically, which is unpaid, which will usually sit on their social media account or website or whatever it is. It doesn't necessarily tag you as the creator. I think a lot of brands hire UGC creators because it allows them to have a wide range of content from different people without having to hire a specific social media creator in-house. UGC is a really great option for people that have like a vision, aesthetic, and the skills for creating, but they don't necessarily have a lot of followers. So as a full-time like content creator, I actually do UGC content here and there, and I have noticed that I've been able to charge a bit more than I'd say if I didn't have followers, because brands are willing to pay more for my face and my voice to be in their video and represent their brand. So if you are also like an influencer content creator, keep that in mind when you are charging for UGC videos, because you can charge more. But yes, there is a lot of good money in UGC if that is something you want to consider, and it's also a great way to make money without having to rely on your followers. So the next income stream through social media is affiliate marketing. And you may have seen on TikTok when someone posts a video and people are like in the comments, where was the dresser from? And then the creator of the video will reply, oh, it's linked in my Amazon storefront. And you're like, oh, what is that? Well, that is affiliate marketing, and affiliate marketing is basically when people make money off buying products that you've referred them to. And I think the biggest site for this is probably Amazon, but I know there's also LTK, which is more fashion focused. But yeah, the percentage that you earn depends on the product on the site. People can make a lot of money off affiliate marketing if you do it right. I do have links, but I honestly don't really like push them out. But yeah, I know there are like TikTok creators that have made six figures from just doing affiliate marketing, and I've like seen them talk about it in other YouTube videos and TikToks and stuff. There is a lot of money in there if you do it right, and there are a lot of videos online if you do want to learn more about that. Another income stream is digital products, and I personally don't have any, but you can do like ebooks, templates, guides that are related to your niche. The great thing about digital products are that they are passive income after you created them, which basically means that like once you make the product, you don't actually have to do any more work besides sending it out. But even then, usually you can do an automated send out. So once people buy it online, they just automatically get emailed the link. Something you have to make once and then just promote the hell out of it. And the last income stream I wanted to talk about, which we've already kind of touched on, is ad revenue. And this is mostly just through like YouTube monetization, and also if you are in an eligible country, TikTok Creator Fund. So in Australia, we actually don't have the TikTok Creator Fund, which really sucks because I genuinely think that so many more creators would be more on their TikTok game, including myself, if we were paid for posting. So to conclude this video, I wanted to wrap it up by saying that making money on social media isn't necessarily about luck. It's about consistency and the time and effort you put in to make it happen. And I know that it is a big privilege to have the time in the first place to be consistent and to be posting. But try and make it happen if this is something that you genuinely really want to do. Even if it's just posting once a week, that's better than nothing. As long as you're consistently posting once a week for however long it takes. Once you start posting, you may look back on your first 50, 100 posts and cringe, but at the end of the day, you may get to a point where you look back on it, like me, and feel like so grateful that you posted those 50, 100 posts because it got to where you were. So if you needed a sign to start posting on social media, this is it. So good luck, enjoy, and if you want to stay in touch with me, you can subscribe below, give this video a like, and also check me out on Instagram and TikTok where I'm a bit more active. I hope this video was helpful. Feel free to comment your ats below if you're posting on YouTube or on other platforms. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys found this video useful, and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye!